Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns, and welcome to 333 Magic 9, where the tarot cards and the astrology stars come together to help you. Now, 2022 will be a different year than 2021, but there still are some critical days that you need to know about because they can affect your love, your money, and your career. So let's take a closer look at some of the important days in 2022. I hope you will like this video and also press the little bell for notifications when my new videos come out. The tarot card for the first quarter is the Death card, which represents death and the possibility of resurrection. The tarot card for the second quarter is the Magician, which represents spiritual power being used on the earth plane for creation. The tarot card for the third quarter is the Seven of Cups, which represents misrepresentation, confusion, and temptation. The tarot card for the fourth quarter is the Wheel of Fortune, which represents a new cycle with new potential in the spiritual continuity behind the ever-changing world. The card for the first quarter and overshadowing the whole year is the Death card. Now, the Death card represents not only death, but the possibility of rebirth and renewal. It can also represent revolution and may be very apropos, since Pluto, the planet of death and resurrection, will return to the exact degree it was at the birth of the United States of America. This will represent a purging of people who have abused power and beliefs that are false. So there is hope for a better future. Now, as we look down into the astrology for the first quarter, January through March of 2022, the year begins with 4 planets in Capricorn and the 10th house. Now, this is the house of career and status. Since Venus is retrograde and conjunct Pluto, this is the perfect time to reevaluate what you want to accomplish in your career this year. Mercury will go retrograde on January 14th, and that suggests a need for flexibility in social and business networking. And then Uranus will turn direct in your second house on the 18th, suggesting new ways to handle or invest money. February will begin with a Sun, Moon, and Saturn conjunction in the 11th house, right here where Saturn is. And this can bring a sense of seriousness to networking situations. But Mercury and Venus will both go direct, may help in career and communications. March will begin with a new moon conjuncting Jupiter. Here's Jupiter right there in your 12th house. Now, this can bring luck and opportunity through secret negotiations or working behind the scenes. So take time to replenish your spiritual energy and do creative work behind the scenes. Now, as we move into the second quarter, the tarot card is the Magician. Now, this represents the ability to use all the different elements, earth, air, fire, and water, in an act of creation. So this is a very dynamic energy and suggests that what has been purged will make way for an energy that is much more constructive and creative. It also suggests there is a spiritual power that is being used on the earth plane, and this could coincide with Jupiter moving through Pisces and into the sign of Aries. Now, as we look down into the astrology for the second quarter, Aries, the month of April begins as Venus is entering Pisces in your 12th house of spirituality right there. So this is a positive influence that helps heal old wounds and prepares you for more success in the future. And Jupiter is conjunct Neptune on the 12th, bringing expansive and creative opportunities. So you're going to have to follow your dreams and your intuitions because they may come true. The new moon will end as April begins and April ends and May begins with a powerful boost of energy, which opens financial opportunities. Just be a bit careful when Mercury will go retrograde on the 10th, and this may bring a little bit of confusion, and at the same time Jupiter will enter Aries and people can be a little aggressive. So if you combine aggression and confusion, it can get a little strange. Then the total lunar eclipse on the 16th comes and passions can soar. So be a little bit careful. And then June may slow down a little bit as Mercury goes direct on the 3rd. So money can improve and you can straighten out any investment problems. And then Saturn will go retrograde up here in the house of friends and associates. So you're going to have to be a little careful in business networking. And the rest of the month has both Venus and Mercury in Gemini, making everybody want to move around and talk and travel and be more social. So that should be nice for the end of June. As we go into the 3rd quarter of the year, it is represented by the tarot card, the Seven of Cups. Now, this card represents confusion and temptation. Look at all that stuff in front of them. So, in the real world, it can be associated with misinformation or not being able to clearly understand the choices that are right in front of you. So the challenge becomes making wise decisions and not being swayed by other people's words or your own emotions. So as we look into the month of July, it'll be busy as 4 planets will be making changes. Now, week 1 has Mars in the 2nd house, urging you to make more money. Nothing wrong with that. And then Mercury in the 4th house down here will tell you to be a little bit more sensitive with family members. And the 3rd week, Venus will help create more harmony as she moves into the 4th house in home and family. And then Mercury will go into the 5th house, enhancing any romantic type of conversations. So that should be very good. Jupiter will go retrograde on the 28th, so you're going to have to be a little bit careful here with any feelings that push you towards excess, so control yourself. Now, August will show a similar pattern as Mercury will move up into the 6th house on the 4th, making everybody a little bit picky at work or with health and diet. And then Venus will be in the 5th house on the 11th, and she'll want a little bit of pleasure. Mars goes into your 3rd house, gathers your mental energy, and you'll have to be a little bit careful in communications. And then the 24th has Uranus going retrograde. So you're going to have to be a little bit careful with your budget as unexpected costs may be calling to you. Now, as we move into September, this can be a little bit easier because Venus will come down to Earth on the 5th, so she'll be in more practical terms there. And you're going to have to be a little bit careful not to be too critical at work, since Mercury in retrograde, especially in work or in partnerships, will have to ask you to be a little bit quiet and patient, and you need to listen to others carefully. As we go into the 4th quarter, the tarot card is the Wheel of Fortune. It depicts the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac, bringing a sense of spiritual continuity that lies behind the ever-changing nature of the world. This is a very positive card and suggests that our fortunes are taking a turn for the better. In fact, you may be feeling that way already. And as we look at October, it begins with Mercury going direct in the 6th house. And this can be beneficial for everyday routines and work projects. And you may have a bit more energy. Then Pluto will turn direct right up here in your 10th house on the 8th, bringing changes or adjustments to your career. And then Saturn will turn direct on the 23rd up in your 11th house. And this brings new opportunities through social networking. November will begin as Mars will go retrograde in your 3rd house, so you'll be a little extra careful in travel and communications. And a total lunar eclipse on the 8th warns you against mixing money and emotions. And then Jupiter goes direct on the 23rd up here in the 12th, suggesting the start of a beneficial cycle of personal expansion. It's going to be right there on the 12th and 1st house. Now, December begins with Neptune going direct in the 12th house, and this can clear up any personal or spiritual confusion. And then both Mercury and Venus will move up into the 10th house, helping you with career or status issues. Be a bit careful with the end of the year parties and travel, as Mercury will be going retrograde on the 29th. So be cool. Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns, and this is my story. If you are a spiritual seeker, it may help you on your journey. I believe your spiritual development is as important as your religion. If you look at Christianity, it focuses on the life of Jesus. But Jesus was never a Christian. He was Jewish. If this thought intrigues you, you'll enjoy my new book, Light from Water, Freeing Jesus. It's available on Amazon.com and through fine bookstores. And it may help you on your spiritual journey. I hope you will like this video and also press the little bell for notifications when my new videos come out. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'd like to thank you for listening. And please subscribe because these videos are free, and that's a great price. And they can help you in the coming year. So please take a moment to ring the bell so you can be notified for new videos. And if you want some deeper information, go to my website, ProfessorAstrology.com, and you can find ways to get a transit chart or a natal chart so you know more about you. And I hope that you have a very great year.